What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tooth and Tail Clan Wars Grand Finals between Lizard Wizard Magic and Toad Rogue Gang. I'm your host, Delthius. Good to be back. It's been a while. Everybody missed me? I've been gone for like 45 minutes. It was a nice 45 minutes. I got to take a shower, relax for a minute. Man, I hope I can feel my voice giving out on me already, so I hope I can make it. It should be, what, 18 matches with my feast. It typically, like, 6 games is about an hour, so this could be up to like 3 hours of casting. I can do it. I'm down. But I'm moving in a few months to Minnesota from Florida for my new job, and some of my old buddies I used to jam with in a rock band, we're getting together on Saturday nights now, just to hang out before I go, you know, and jamming and playing some music. So I did a lot of drinking and yelling last night. So not as hungover as I thought I would be, which is good, but my voice I can already feel my voice a little raspy, so I apologize if it starts giving out a little later. But I'm good. It's good to be here. I'm happy to be back casting. I know I've been gone for a little while. Just been busy. Yeah, looking forward to get back into it. I've been getting a lot of replays, so thank you, everybody. Keep sending them to ToothandTailTV@gmail.com. I will get to them eventually. I actually work really late now. Like, most nights I don't finish working till like 7 or 8 my time. So by the time I'm off work, it's already late for the feast, and then I raid on Friday night, so I don't know. I might have to rethink when I do the feast. Maybe that'll help me get back into doing the show again, maybe on a weekend or a Tuesday night or something like that. But that is enough Delthius rambling, I suppose, for the intro. We've got 3 games from replays here, and we've got 3 live matches. And I think we can just go ahead and get her going, eh, bud? I'm working on my northerner talk. Is that pretty good? All right, here we go. Game number 1 between Cavernus and Zen. Let's get into it. Spawn at the right-hand side, representing TRG, we've got Zen. The opponent to the top left, representing Lizard Wizard Magic, it's Cavernus. Okay. Zen is the guy, I think, what was it on the last feast or the one beforehand against Alto, I think, where he was like running toads into mills. He is part of the Toad Rogue Gang, so if I don't see the Toad Rogue Gang blow up at least 1 mill with toads today, I'm gonna be woefully disappointed. So nothing crazy out of these decks, you know. Tier 2 style from Zen seems perfectly reasonable. Cavernus with pretty solid comp, you know. Skunk Falcon Owl gets into that late game quite nicely, especially with some balloons to help cut the map as he sees fit. And overall, this map does look slightly better for Cavernus, as he's got nice access to 4 mills here versus the 3 of Zen. But a pretty short rush distance, and this map is much smaller. It's kind of deceptively small because all of this area down here just really doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, there are a couple cabins, but oh, we have a little bit of aggression here from Zen. 6 farm double here coming out. And gonna get some damage done, so nicely done here. I wonder if Cavernus didn't scout it. I actually didn't even notice the rush coming, as I was too busy assuming everybody was going for 8 farm doubles and just talking about the map. And Zen is actually gonna keep up the pressure here. Already getting 1 pig. Does have the numbers advantage at the moment. That is always really dangerous when you're on the wrong side of that, because it's very easy to snowball and start picking off Warrens like this. And Cavernus is actually going to come out here for the fight. Zen is like, okay, man, I'll take this any day of the week. Lizards and better numbers against squirrels out in the open will always win. And so far, so good for Zen here. Getting a pig, getting a Warren, taking a favorable trade. I mean, keep in mind that the 7th and 8th farms were delayed quite some time. Only now just building. And looking for some more pressure here. Now, Cavernus has taken a couple punches, but he's still standing. You know, this is still totally a winnable game for Cavernus. This isn't just GG for Zen. Especially with the Squote, the Squirrel Toad. How do you say the other version? Twirl? I don't know. Yeah, squirrel, right? Like, when you say squirrel, it's kind of like SQW. So if I was gonna say toad squirrel, it'd be twirl. We need to ratify one or the other. I don't know. Squode sounds pretty good. I'm gonna twirl around on the Squizzard. Some weird tooth and tail words. Hey, you did it, man, with the sub. Thanks, man. Good to see you, buddy. Alright. Cavernus getting that scout on, trying to get up to 2 bases, a little bit ahead of the opponent. That's definitely a nice way to catch up in the game. And that was actually a really nice trade there for Cavernus. And this is the problem with being on just Lizard, but Zen is aware of that. He's got his own Squode as well. Trying to twirl in here. I think it's Squode, right? We don't say twirl. We don't do that here. Alright, so nice bit of counter-aggression there by Cavernus, getting back into this match. I love just kind of holding down the fort, you know, farming up, getting additional second base resources going. That's a great way to get into the game when you were previously behind in the early stage. Zen looking like he wants to put out some pressure, but just kind of feigning, maybe hoping for an overreaction out of his opponent. And actually transitioning into a lot of Tier 2 here. This is very risky. But let's see if it works out for him. I mean, Cavernus is not attacking right now. Cavernus is coming in for the scout. And does see the transition. Just slightly, though, but didn't get to see the full picture because Zen, again, just fakes the move out. This is actually really smart unit control here coming out from Zen. You know, you really can't get caught. You can't let your army get caught in a big engagement. Tozard. I like Tozard. Squizzode. Ooh. Oh man, the Squizzode. That is a good one. All 3 in there. Zen does have a nice Squizzode comp here. And, you know, the game's kind of stabilized, to be honest. Really good job from both sides so far, I feel like. I'm very impressed by these players so far. You know, Cavernus taking that much damage early on and being able to extend the game, to get ahead, to get even. Zen moving out with the Skunk Squizzode here. Just going to start getting that pre-gas down. You know, poking in on the pigs. Actually gonna kill a pig before Cavernus is able to engage. Cavernus coming in. Trying to get it done here. Only the 4 skunks remaining from Zen. The skunks start to fall. Cavernus is pushing this back and keeps most of the Tier 2 alive. This is just starting to look better and better for Cavernus in this match now. Zen actually has a farm advantage right now because that 7th and 8th farm were so delayed. That's actually not fallowed out just quite yet for Zen. I'd love to see Zen kind of back up, get these skunks healed. He did take that mill up top, though, so it's actually giving him a lot of territory at the moment. Yeah, trying to get these skunks in the water, but I don't think he has time anymore. That is a big superior number of toads from Cavernus, and look at that. Beautiful toad connections on all the Tier 2 units. Cavernus trying to push through. Still has 3 skunks. I think he could do it. He looked to be hesitating for a second. You always want to be really careful not to overextend in Tooth and Tail, as units reproduce very, very quickly. Especially Tier 1 with only taking 10 seconds to make a unit out of the Warren there. So, some nice counter damage done. Doesn't just end the game or anything. Tozard. Tozard's pretty good too. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, okay, just this mill up here. Alright, yeah, that was expected to die. I will warn you all right now, I may start getting delirious during this cast. This is gonna be a long cast. So get ready for crazy Delthius here. Now the big news in this match is that through all the hustle and bustle, Cavernus was able to keep that large skunk count up. Meanwhile, Zen is only down to 2. And honestly, that might be what wins the game here for Cavernus. Just the massive HP pool that those units are going to have, and in those kinds of numbers will be very difficult for Zen to actually tear through. Lizard Toad load? No. We're not going with low. Load. Tizard. Tizard's pretty good. Squode sounds like some kind of like D&D monster, doesn't it? It sounds like a swamp toad zombie kind of thing. Like a giant toad that's been corrupted by an evil necromancer, a Squode. I think this might be the push for Cavernus here. Zen is down to crumbs, just trying to get out whatever he can. Does have 11 wizards. 11 lizards on the other side of the map, trying to be wizards and get a ton of work done. They actually did quite a bit of damage, and Zen does have them here coming back, trying to start cleaning this up, but again, just so much HP. On all these skunks combined. Dude, Zen fighting to the last breath. Gotta love to see it. But I think he's just gonna be forced to tap here shortly. And Cavernus is gonna take game number 1 here. Oh my god, Zen's actually cleaning up, but he's got no economy. Right? Well, you can sell something and build a farm. Maybe this game's not over. Cavernus can just kind of sell these extra skunk warrens, go down to like 2 skunks. Actually gonna try to stay on 4. Delthius. I am on a delay, everybody, so my reactions to the chat are coming in a little bit. Is Zen actually doing this? Like, I think that decision to come ravage the main base with the lizards and then come back and kind of clean it up actually worked out. I mean, it's 1 to 2 farms. Zen's got 6 lizards and a dream. Let's see if you can make it work here. I don't know, man. I'm trying to hype it up, but let's be real, man. 4 skunks. Come on. Come on, look at this. What are you gonna do about that? What are you doing here? Zen is trying, man. Hey, this is an important match. This is the Clan Wars final. Zen wants to get that point on the board for his team. He's gonna do anything he can to make it happen. I thought about putting on the Lizard Wizard skin for this match, but then I realized that TRG would have Lizard Wizards in situations like this, and that wouldn't really make sense. Look at Zen go, man. He is so good with his micro. I've seen a lot of games with Zen. Zen is one of these really robust players that can do this sort of thing, but that is just, I mean, there's more squirrels. I was going to say, you know, yeah, you've got 4 skunks, but skunks can't damage buildings, but, I mean, they can kill the pigs. And plus, Cavernus still has a nice, you know, 12 tier 1 here. I'd love to see Cavernus try to take some of these cabins in the bottom, but he really doesn't have the numbers to be able to destroy those cabins without losing tier 1, unless he, I guess, moves the squirrels down there. This might be checkmate, though. Actually leaves skunks at home to prevent against this right here. Zen is on starvation. looking to try to get something done here. So the Toad Rogue Gang player was using lizards, and the Lizard Wizard Magic player was using toads. Did I get that right? This is not, what am I thinking? This is not canon with the lore. My Tooth and Tail competitive tournament lore is in shambles here, as Cavernus, Lizard Wizard Magic team, wins with toads. And Zen on the Toad team loses with lizards. One point here for Cavernus. Alright. Let's keep her going here. Nice job from Zen. Like, he really pulled that game out to be a lot longer than previously thought possible there. But in the bottom left, on the Lizard team with the Toads, we've got Cavernus. And up on the top right, on the Toad team with the Lizards, we've got Zen. But hey, at least Zen does have Toads. Alright. So, looks like similar deck from Zen. Honestly, to be honest, I don't really remember what the other units Zen really had, where he did have Skunks last time. But he still got the, what they call it in the chat earlier? The Squizode? The triple tier 1 here. And 4-farm double out of Zen. Cavernus did scout it though, tries to respond with the 6-farm Warren. This still might be a dead pig. Now the squirrel should be out in time here. Oof. Rough start here for Zen. Losing 2 lizards for free here and delaying the farms, but nice try. I think if he had like one more lizard, he might have got it, but now he's going to follow up here. Try to come in again. There's going to be 3 squirrels here for Cavernus, so I don't think this is going to work. Zen's going to have to go home for now, but... You know, it's not the end of the world having these lizards early on. I'd love to see Zen just kind of stay active with them. You know, exactly like this. Yeah, he's going to run around and try to hit from this angle. I believe Cavernus did see that coming, though. So you might go ahead and just move his units over there. Even just going to get a little bit of barbed wire. To try to dissuade that from coming in. So Zen's kind of got his lizards in a flanking spot out here. Just kind of waiting. Nice scout there. Now, Cavernus hasn't really been able to get in and scout, but not a lot going on at the moment just yet. Anyways, as we've kind of stabilized out of that aggressive early game, gotten into 8-farm situations here, but Cavernus still going up on tier 1. Does get the expansion going. I like this comp from Cavernus. Oh, and here comes that lizard flank, but the barbed wire in position is going to make Zen just go home. Grab his own mill. Then come in at a later date. Now, there are actually a lot of good paths around for some lizard harassment here. You know, maybe Zen later on can come in this way, try to pick off some pigs. But Cavernus really going full throttle with the wire here. And it would be quite annoying to see the lizards just like walk through the water there around the wire. But again, not a big investment. I mean, 90 food, actually, you know, that's kind of significant, but not huge. Cavernus coming in for some harassment here. With an army comp that is rough for pure lizards to deal with, Zen trying to delay engaging into this as long as possible, but taking massive damage already. 2 Warrens, 2 pigs. And great control on the toads here by Cavernus. Really just keeping these grenades alive as long as he can. Actually just going for the throat. I'd wonder if that was intentional or not. I don't think so. Zen bringing in the lizards, or the snakes here. It's curious to see snakes as a first tier 2 pick. We've seen that a lot today. You know, traditionally, you'd want to get like the skunk or something first, get the snake a little bit later, but the snake is also a unit that is quite abusable with micro. It's just, the weakness of the snake is a lot of tier 1, though, and just getting overwhelmed. Cavernus looking for another attack coming in here. He's got a nice army, got a lot of tier 1 units behind it, looking for more action. These toads get some good connections, but the commander goes down. However, the squirrels were still firing at the snakes, get the snakes anyways, and there's just an overwhelming amount of squirrels here. Cavernus does get back up here and bring the squirrels back, but honestly, probably shouldn't have. You know, it's hard to tell, of course, because you can only see what your commander sees directly around them. And this looks like the killing blow coming in here from Cavernus. Zen really having a rough time dealing with those toads, but yeah, I mean, with lizard openings, that can happen. I think Zen probably needed to respond to the enemy toads a little bit quicker. I think they did see the toads. If not, they probably should have. So I think that's really what happened there, you know. Cavernus did get up to that squad, and Zen just really didn't respond, stayed on the pure lizard. And Cavernus, honestly, I think Cavernus won the game when he killed the 2 Warrens and the 2 pigs before Zen really committed in. So, alright, so that's a nice quick point on the board here for Lizard Wizard Magic. Great job there by Cavernus. And let's reset the scoreboard for the next match here. We've got Lupus going up against Cactus, if I can find in my thing. Nice. Okay. So let's see how this goes here. I think Cactus is a little bit of the favored player here. Lupus almost made it to the round of 4 in the beginners in TNT Championship, and Cactus almost made it to the quarterfinals of the intermediate as well. So let's see how this one plays out here. Cactus being the favorite could make for a more entertaining day here. It'd be fun to see after game 2, tied up 1-1. But let's see if Lupus, the underdog here, can manage to put a point up on the board. Spun in the bottom right, we've got Cactus representing TRG, and up in the top left representing Lizard Wizard Magic, we've got Lupus. Alright, Cactus does have the toads. Oh wait, I think I have these teams backwards. I knew I'd make a mistake like that. Hang on, let me make sure. Nope, I'm good. Okay. Okay, yeah. Alright, just making sure. There's a lot of names to keep track of here. So yes, so everything is as intended, as is tradition. Cactus does have the toads. Lupus, however, Lupus has a really solid late game comp here with the Snake, Owl, Falcon. Skunk can also be quite nice in the Owl vs. Owl matchups. Meanwhile, Cactus, with more of the Bruiser build, got the Squad for the heavy AoE, and then just followed up with most of the tier 2 here. A relatively decently sized map, not a whole lot to comment on just yet. The map looks a bit better for Cactus, as he does have access to more mills. However, I mean, Lupus is okay, right? Like, you got three mills right there. This is pretty easy 4th mill to get, so, you know, I mean, the mill distribution probably won't come up. I do tend to talk about that a lot in the early games here, as I'm just kind of buying time, waiting for some action to unfold. But honestly, 9 games out of 10, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you have a second base, most of the time that's all you need. I mean, obviously third base is great too, but most games we see are typically like 2 to 3 bases, so the distribution of the 4th and the 5ths and stuff like that really doesn't matter as much most of the time. Cactus coming in here. Getting some damage done. Nice engagement there for Cactus. Takes a good trade, kills the pig, and he's looking pretty good on economy himself. So far, we're stuck in like tier 1 chicken. Everybody, you know, both players are hesitant to tech up because that gives a brief window where, you know, if you throw down double tier 2 and your opponent threw down 4 tier 1 Warrens, you could just straight up lose if they attack you at the right time. Cactus moving in again this time around, though. Lupus has pretty similar numbers of squirrels, so just gonna have to back out for the time being. And starting to get into tier 2 as both players. Yeah, we're about even. Like, you can notice there on the supply tabs, like, Cactus is about 120 food ahead. Well, not even really, because Lupus hasn't spent the money. Well, no, yeah. I mean, just basically, like, one squirrel warren ahead from killing the pig earlier and taking that better engagement. So, Lupus isn't down and out. Getting up a quick third base or taking a really cost-effective trade or doing some kind of flank attack. You know, these are all avenues that can get Lupus back at parity here. But I'm curious what the plan is for Cactus. Like, Cactus kind of has the momentum in this game. He's kind of got the tempo. I feel like Lupus is just kind of hanging out. It's really on Cactus to make the move, right? Like, Lupus isn't really incentivized to attack at the moment. And if Cactus waits too long, then that difference, that, like, 120, 200 food lead that Cactus got earlier on won't matter anymore. So just waiting a little bit here. I might actually hit that fast forward button just slightly. Now, the good news is Lupus is coming back. He's got to third base way faster than Cactus. Cactus not aware of that third base for Lupus. Kind of coming in, seeing, okay, has he got a tier 3? How many tier 2s he got? Doesn't get a very good scout, though, but this is a really scary army for Cactus here. But, again, you know, Lupus is actually going to have the food lead here shortly if he doesn't already. You know, Cactus really needs to leverage this army lead and get in there, but Cactus is not aware of the third base. And again, still no third base from Cactus. We're only 5 minutes in, so it's not really like you need a third base yet, but Cactus is moving in, and Lupus was out on the map scouting as the attack started. Was not able to micro any of his units. Cactus Commander dies in the skirmish here, but still gets the job done. Takes a really, really good trade. Knocks out a base. Lupus is going to do what he can and try to counterattack. The good news for Lupus, though, is they did have that third base up and running before the second went down, so they're not just totally out of economy. However, the value that Cactus got since Lupus was not there to control the army is massive. And I think Cactus from here just walks across the map and GG's here. It's a nice try from Lupus. Lupus is a newer player, so good job there. Cactus kind of coming in. That's all that can happen to anybody, man. We saw it happen in the grand finals of Premier Tooth and Tail Championship earlier, but when you get attacked when you're not at home, you're out scouting on the map, feels bad, man. Happens to the best of us. All right, let's get going into game number 2 here. All right, spawning on the right, we're rocking the ferrets in defense. Let's go. It's Lupus. And over on the bottom left, representing TRG with the tier 2 bruiser deck again, we've got Cactus. I'm hyped for this style, man. It's not really a popular style, but it is a smart style to pull out in a series if you're pretty well practiced with it. You can catch your opponent off guard and win some games out of the blue. Now, Cactus does have snakes, so it's kind of interesting to think about, like, why the ferret defense style hasn't worked a lot. like consistently in modern Tooth and Tail. Now let me put an asterisk next to that because it can work, right? It can still be viable, but one problem with it is it's very map dependent. You kind of need to get some good RNG where you can set up defenses and with kind of like checking 3 boxes at once, right? Like you want to be able to set up defense that both protects your bases, threatens the enemy bases with a staging point from the ferrets, and is on like a choke or something small enough to where you don't have to commit to a lot of defenses to get the job done. You can get it done with only a couple turrets and a balloon or something like that. So this is actually kind of one of those maps, as you can see, where these turrets got placed for Lupus, and Lupus actually baited out. Okay, this was really smart. Lupus baited 8 farm mill, right? Like, Lupus says, hey man, let's go 8 farm mill. Cactus is like, sure, yeah, whatever. I'm fine with that. But Lupus had the turrets, and the turrets built in 10 seconds, so Cactus had no units to contest that. So that was really huge. That was actually super smart from Lupus there. And again, this map RNG does check one of those boxes where, or really all 3 of those boxes, where Lupus, you know, these turrets defend his base, these turrets threaten the enemy base, and he doesn't need a lot of them. There's a little choke point there. You know, 2 gets the job done. He can add in a 3rd later, just to make sure that they can't get overrun. But I think the style wasn't very effective last patch because moles were so strong. And I think one of the reasons it's not as effective on this patch is because snakes are so strong. Because snakes can kind of do the job that ferrets do anyways. They can poison down the turrets, and they can contest the ferret as it moves in to shoot and poison it. But Lupus doesn't even need the ferrets this time around. The turrets on the offense here are enough to protect the squirrels, and just mass squirrels coming out from Lupus. These toads just don't have the right numbers to get the good connections. And this just might be checkmate. Like, this was beautiful. I can't overstate enough like how smart it was from Lupus. If I go back and watch this VOD and Cactus got the mill first, no, I'm pretty sure Lupus got the mill first, but to go 8 farm gristmill when you have turrets was so freaking smart, man. Because if he went 8 farm double and then a mill, then the opponent would have had warrens, right? And you wouldn't have been able to get those turrets up, but he baited Cactus into saying, yeah, let's both go 8 farm mill. Like, that was super good. That was super smart. And this is really smart from Cactus as well, just kind of giving up on ever really being able to populate this base with farms and just moving that 3rd to the 9 o'clock position. Cactus gonna try to bust through. All those toads do knock out a turret and a balloon, but pretty cost ineffective for 12 toads in exchange. And look at that Lupus with a off-meta deck with a really clever build order and a bit of mind games there in the early games. Takes the match nice and quick. That was awesome. I am so impressed by that. All right, let's hop into game number 3 here between Lupus and Cactus. All right, spawning on the bottom right, still rocking the turrets, but dropping the ferrets this time around. We've got Lupus. And up in the top, we have Cactus rocking the tier 2 bruiser deck again here. This time around getting squizzoed, as the cool kids say. Alright, let's see how this one gets going here. Pretty rough map for Cactus, to be honest. It's playable, especially with Cactus's deck. I always try to say, as long as you have a second mill, you can't complain too much. That was my big balance contribution to Tooth and Tail. I actually got Andy to code in to the RNG of the map to to try to make sure you have that second base, because the second base is so critical, you know. But Cactus does not really have a third. I mean, he could go for the 9 o'clock. I also was the one who recommended that toads move fast in water, so maybe you can thank me for that one too. But it was way after the fact. Like, I was joking around with Andy about that like years ago. It's like, come on, man, toads in water, they should swim fast. And that actually only got patched in very recently. So I don't know if I can take credit for that one. Alright. Pretty mild early game so far. Cactus gonna look for something here with the lizards. Not the best map in the world for lizard pressure. Gonna try to come in and get the pig. He does get it. Loses a lot of lizards for it, though. That's typically worth it as long as Lupus doesn't just straight up counterattack. Then trading out the lizards like that, even cost ineffectively for a pig, is worth it because you slow down the economy. And this is really smart from Lupus. I do try to tell players this quite often. You know, when a pig dies, like, don't even bother rebuilding that farm. You might as well get a nice fresh farm if you have the opportunity. Alright, Cactus. Still trying to find a position here. Trying to get something going. I love being active on the map with some lizards like this in the early game. It feels really strong, especially when it's only a few lizards. And this time around, well, no, actually that was the last series. I can talk. The last series, but Cactus did see the toads out of Lupus and teched down out of lizards, but keeps that single group of lizards here to ideally crash into the higher number of toads and take a cost-effective trade. Pretty consistently there. So Cactus getting that chameleon going. Meanwhile, Lupus a little bit ahead of the curve on second base farms. Pretty even game at this point, though. Third base on the way for Lupus here. Not a lot to really say at the moment. Might hit. Might hit that fast forward button just slightly. We do have a lot of content today. So in some of these replays, if players are just kind of powering up, not doing a whole lot, we might speed it up a little bit. Just straight up squad from Lupus. Meanwhile, Cactus is trying to get into those powerful tier 2 units. Honestly, I wouldn't hate to see Lupus just, like, throwing down turrets right on the territory edge here. Because, again, it's that sweet spot you're looking for with defense, where it both defends you and is kind of aggressive. Damn, man, those turrets really helping out in that engagement. Lupus able to push through with a couple extra squirrels here. Cactus will end up defending. Toads feel really strong right now. Like, good against tier 1 and against tier 2. I think most of the time you're trying to hit the tier 2 with the toads and just getting that splash on the tier 1. But Cactus starting to overwhelm here with the counterattack. Lupus might have got too big for his britches here. It seemed like that first attack went pretty good for Lupus. Yeah, look at the army graph there. But Cactus just able to remake and re-push and take the engagement that time the way that he wanted to. Alright, Cactus regrouping, gonna try to come in again. Lupus has a lot of tier 1 though, and in these scrappy situations, this is where just having a large quantity of tier 1 Warrens like this is really, really strong. Just the pace in which you can recreate units is so fast. And Tooth and Tail quite often is a game about seconds. You know, every second matters. Rush distance matters. Reinforcement distance matters. So all these little variables, when you're just getting units a little bit faster, can be a big deal. But Cactus, with some of these powerful tier 2 here, with the skunks, with the cams, oh man, 1 HP on that skunk. Now, Lupus does have a highly superior economy. But what's unfortunate for Cactus is it's his second base that's kind of on the front lines, where it's Lupus's third. Good target fire there from Lupus, ensuring that those powerful tier 2 units do fall. And with this turret here, Cactus can't push into this any farther. He's going to continue. Is this going to be a tap out from Cactus? It looks like it might be. Doesn't have anything else, and Lupus, the underdog, puts Lizard Wizard's magic up 2-0 so far today. Nicely done. Man, I am still impressed by that turret game. Like, just baiting your opponent to go mill first. I've never thought about that. That was so smart. Alright, y'all. I'm going to take a very brief break, like a minute or so. Don't go anywhere, and we will continue on with some more matches. Actually going to get into Meek versus Tatanka. That's going to be very hype. Alright, I am back. Sorry about the delay there. So we've got Tatanka versus Meek coming up next. Let's set up a scoreboard. I had this like program scoreboard assistant, but it just like stopped working after a while. It was really good though. Oh, I almost messed up. Tatanka is not Lizard Wizard Magic here. That would be Mr. Meek. Okay. Let me just check a couple things here. Yep. All right. So Meek, of course, your Grand Finals champion for the TNT Championship 2021 season. And Tatanka was ranked 1 on the ladder very, very recently. And he's only been playing for a few months. He's already really high of KML. And champion of intermediate as well. Okay, got my LaCroix, my carbonated water that tastes like if you threw a lime at a static TV. And we're ready to roll. Let's get into this. Game number 3. TRG really needs to bring it back here. This is a championship match here. On the left-hand side, we've got Tatanka. The opponent to the top right, Meek. Both these players champions of their respective divisions here. Tatanka with the Boar Snake. Actually, the deck that we saw Meek use a lot in the Premier Finals earlier today. Meanwhile, Meek with that triple tier 3 that I think he popularized. And a fun way to get the Wolf Fox going, because you know, the Wolf Fox weakness is that late game with the Owls, but you know, we haven't really seen a lot of those Owl late games today. I think we just had one match with those where it was really more decided by the Falcons there. So let's see. Tatanka definitely going to be in Premier League next season. Crush the intermediate. Meek, of course, just faced off against Melvin Fro earlier today. I guess I just spoiled like 2 other VODs. So hopefully you've watched those already, watching this in chronological order. So not a whole lot going on just yet in the early game. I think Meek snuck out a little bit of a fast Warren, but nothing super crazy. Map looks okay for both sides. I like it actually better for Tatanka by a good bit. Because, yeah, they both had this, like, what I call a castle. Where you got 4 mills just, like, right like this. But, Meek's 4 mills, 2 of them are down here. And that can be a little bit hard to deal with. Meanwhile, Tatanka's got everything up on the high ground here. Which is quite nice, so. Meek already getting a little bit ahead on that economy. I think Tatanka did go in and scout, though. Yeah, Tatanka knows about the farms that Meek has, so gonna go ahead and get some of their own farms here. Tatanka pressing forward with some Squirrel Toe, gonna look for some damage. And Toads, one of them connects. Gonna try to get on top of these pigs here. Gets a pig, so yeah, nice attack here from Tatanka. Punishing Meek for having a little bit faster of an economic advantage. Oh no, everyone in chat's dunking on LaCroix. You know, I like it. I like the carbonation of it. I try not to drink soda because I'm an old man and I have to start thinking about things like that. But I really like carbonation, so LaCroix is just good for me. And I kind of like bitter stuff anyways, like pickles and things like that. Yeah, it's just for the bubbly. All right, so Tatanka did get that good engagement earlier on. I think I missed an engagement here when I was talking about the bubbly, because it looks like Meek might have evened things up. But Meek trying to get out that wolf. Nice scout by Tatanka. I'm curious what Tatanka's RTS experience is. Does anybody know in the chat? Like, I feel like Tatanka and Tandor both came in around the same time. Tandor's a great streamer, and Tatanka's a great competitor. I'm curious if Tatanka was like a big StarCraft guy or anything like that. AoE 2 or something. Wolf Owl from Meek. Oh, we got the triple tier 3 from Meek. I love this little spot he tries to hide it, but Tatanka will not be fooled. You're not gonna bring the wool over his eyes here. So how are you gonna respond? This triple tier 3. Lots of falcons. Some snakes coming in. Look at this barbed wire for Meek too. Just kind of saying, alright, this is a 2-base game for me, which is pretty smart. I mean, maybe Meek could go try to sneak at like 4 o'clock base and just hope Tatanka never goes over there, but Tatanka's gonna push in. Oh man, even if he loses the army, at this point the damage is done. The snake stacks are on the mill. It will go down for sure. And Tatanka pushing forward. Gonna start sniping down the tier 3 Warrens. Oh my god, this is GG. Tatanka with the right timing here, the right mix of units. That poor Fox Warren, no! Oh my gosh, it lives. Alright, Tandor Draco. I was reading Tandor Draco in the chat. Tatanka, push it in here. Gonna finish off this Fox Warren. I've played some StarCraft 2, says Tatanka, yeah. Nicely done. GG in the first match. Tandor Draco trying to convince me to switch over to kombucha. I know about kombucha. I have a couple hippie friends that are into it. Now, isn't kombucha, has a lot of like probiotics and stuff? I think it's one of those things, if you drink it, you have to drink it on a consistent basis, because doesn't it like mess with your stomach biome and that sort of thing? It's also kind of expensive for my blood compared to LaCroix. But I hear you can make your own kombucha. Kombucha's like a yogurt drink. Well, I mean, that's not right. It's like yogurt in the sense that it's got a lot of, like, living little microorganisms and stuff in there, right? Okay. Where are we on? Game number 2. I need to update the scoreboard. Oh, I already did. Look at that. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm on top of it. Let's do it. Spot on the right-hand side, we've got Tatanka up 1 match. And over in the upper left, we've got Meek, our premier champion. Looking to tie things up in this series here. Rocking the Badger, I dig it. So, let's see if Meek can make it happen. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off that like 1-base Melvin-y move with the batter, which is always fun to see. I was looking at the map, like wondering if he could put the Badger Warren right there. And, but it doesn't look like he can. I was thinking like, oh, I wonder if there's a path like over here or something. Nope. So it's actually a pretty small map. It's deceptively large. I mean, this is basically the map right here. This is basically it. I mean, Tatanka's got another base down here. Again, this is Tatanka favored, as you'd much rather have your 3 bases in this sort of position. You know, Meek's fine with his natural, but this 3rd base is really rough, being so close to the front lines, where this 3rd base is quite far away. Alright, Meek getting that 2nd base up and running. No Meek rushes here. Probably not willing to risk the big match on just a rush at the moment. So let's see how this game evolves. Where we're going from here. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. It's always fun. I'm sorry I haven't been streaming much lately. I've just been busy and tired. And busy. But I do want to get back into it. TNT Championship was awesome. TNT Clan Wars was a ton of fun as well. And as these two events are wrapping up, we got 2021 Duels. The next season of the Gentleman's Wacky Events is already underway. There's a few episodes out already. You can check out Witty Pun 7's channel. And I think Tandor Draco did one as well. Okay. Just kind of waiting here. Both players deciding to macro up. Might hit that fast forward just slightly here, because we do have a lot of ground to cover. You know, not a whole lot to say at the moment. Looks like Meek is a bit ahead. No, they're the same on tier 2. It's actually very mirror builds from both sides. If anything, Tatanka is slightly ahead because the farms from Tatanka were a little bit earlier. Ooh, that was awesome. Good job by Meek. Needs to keep this cam alive, though. Right when that farm went from Q to an actual farm, the Chameleon just whacked it. One shot. So that kind of little value definitely matters. Meek needs to stay in parity here on the farm count. Both players quite greedy this game, really building up to a lot of tier 2, really getting the second base farms up and running, cutting out all the tier 1. Tatanka just now starting to put some tier 1 back into the mix. Look at this, more damage from Meek though with this cam control. Are the cams gonna make it out? One of them dies. Did he get 1 or 2 Warrens there? I mean, I think it's worth it even for just 1 Warren. Like, tempo-wise, but obviously even food-wise. Ooh, Meek actually... Tatanka saw the tier 3 for Meek. Meek sold it, but Tatanka with the follow-up scout. Tatanka very on top of scouting, and honestly, that's really what this game is. This game is just like a big if-else line of code that you're making the decisions based on scouting. And having the experience to know how to write that if-else statement. Tatanka getting that third base up and running. Let's keep that farm production going. And this is where the game gets a little bit wonky for Meek here. Meek can try to continue the game and take their own third base, but again, the positioning of the third bases does favor Tatanka. Meek instead going to come in here for a big trade. Gets a tier 2 Warren. Nice snake tagging from Tatanka here, trying to hit as many different targets as once. And Tatanka running over that army, keeping a lot of the tier 2 alive of his own. The toads and snakes really getting a lot of work done there. I think that really was the snakes and then also the large falcon count. Large falcon count makes a ton of sense when you're going up against a lot of tier 2 from your opponent. So Meek is pretty behind now. Not going to be happy to see this nice third base from Tatanka down here, but at least it doesn't have farms on it yet. Meek gonna kind of hope to get the Badger out, but as we saw with Meek versus Melvin earlier, Badgers do not fare very well against Falcons, you know. Against Falcons, you really need a lot of tier 1, you need a Fox, or you need your own Falcons to deal with Falcons in large numbers. I wonder if it'd be smart to, like, de-stealth your cam in the middle of a ton of toads, like 12 toads or something, and just let it build up. This is a lot of tier 1 from Meek. And Tatanka really doesn't have a lot to deal with that. Does have a pair of skunks, which is nice. Meek trying to delay the attack as long as possible, but Tatanka just starting to run over all the Warrens going down, moving in here for the killing blow, and Meek is gonna have to tap out. Tatanka, intermediate champion, beating the premier champion here. And putting a point on the board for TRG. All right. So, point on the board for TRG. And I need to get the players round up here for the live matches that we have today. The next match, if everything goes according to plan, should be Tandor Draco versus Dash. Let me flip to my commercial break screen so I don't show everybody my password. If you do know my password, I do ask, like, please don't join the match. You can watch it here, and I just don't want to risk lagging the game by having any extra observers that aren't necessary. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so who we got? Tandor Draco. Representing Lizard Wizard Magic. And Dash for TRG. Now, both these teams were very close in the kind of round-robin open season. By the way, TRG was ranked 1, but Lizard Wizard Magic was behind by a single point in the season. And bam. Alright, so we got everything reset. Just waiting on the players to come on in. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Keep sending me your replays. ToothandTailTV@gmail.com. I will get to them when I can. I promise. I might change the night that I stream. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I gotta start waking up earlier for work. That's really a problem. I'm like a night person in general. And my job's pretty cool. It's like, I don't really care when I work as long as I'm working, you know, with integrity and that sort of thing. So I typically sleep in and then end up finishing 8, 9, or 10 hours around 7 or 8 at night. Okay, here we go. The players ready to rock and roll. But yeah, I might change my feast tonight because I raid on Friday nights and it's just a little clumped up. Tandor Draco in the finals of the TNT Championship Beginners match here, or Beginners League. Dash also considered a beginner player. Keep in mind that we did have that distinction in Clan Wars. We kind of piled everybody into beginner or expert tier. So spawning on the bottom left, we've got Dash. And opponent to the top right, Tandor Draco. Phenomenal streamer, by the way. He does a ton of casting for the scene. So definitely check out his Twitch channel if you haven't already. Smash that follow button. Oh yeah, I see confusion in the chat with Mocha. Yeah, my scoreboard is a little bit misleading. I tried to say misleading and mischievous at the same time and got mischieving. Best of 3 is for the matches, but the actual Clan Wars set is a best of 6. Well, best of 7 if there's a tiebreaker. It's 6 matches, and if we end up 3-3, we're gonna have a tiebreaker best of 1, I think. Okay, so Dash maybe stealing a powerful deck that he's been watching today on the stream here. The Toad Boar Bustin'. The Bustin' deck. Can we ratify that? Is the Toad Boar the Bustin' deck? I think so. I think we're gonna ratify that. We need it into official TNT lingo. The Bustin' Justin is what we'll call it. No, if only somebody named Justin popularized it. I mean, Boar Push has been around forever. I think James to my memory, which isn't very good to be fair, but I remember James winning big events, gentlemen's 21 series kind of events with board pushes in the past. It's kind of neat clash of styles here. You got that board push, the bust build, and then we got the owl snake here from Tandor. Pretty even so far. Relatively big map. I mean, I guess not huge, but mid-range. So neither player really, gonna get aggressive just quite yet. The map is much better for Tandor than it is for Dash here. And these are live games. We are out of the replay sector of the event here. So if you are on the docket to play live today, be on your toes. And be ready to roll, ready in position. Reporting for duty. So yeah, this is a bit of a rough spawn for Dash, but he does have the 9 o'clock base. Which is good. So at least 3 bases, but really doesn't want this to go long. Which kind of makes, you know what, like... It's kind of funny that the mill distribution here is almost reflective of the decks the players are using, right? Because Dash is busting. He's a bustin' Justin this game. He's going to try to smash in with that big toad boar push that we've seen a lot today. Meanwhile, Tandor Draco, he's the honorable nerd here. He's the macro player. He wants to get into that supreme late game with the Snake Owl in a huge economy and just starting to mass up on owls and balloons and that sort of thing. So in theory, I guess my point is, like, 2 bases is really all Dash should need for what they'll most likely go for here. The Bustin' Justin. And look at this, Owl. Production already starting. Dash probably not mad about that, The board does counter the owl quite nicely, especially in these kinds of numbers, but that's what the snake is for. It's like the snake and the owl kind of cover each other. Snake and owl are best bros. Like, they cover each other better than probably any other 2 units in the game, in my opinion. Like, that synergy is just huge, because what's the snake good against? Well, tier 2 and tier 3. What's it bad against? A lot of tier 1. Owls, what's it great against? A lot of tier 1, because they're super ineffective trading with free units. But what's it bad against? Stuff that the snake can kill. So, alright, Dash looking to get a little bit aggressive here before the board is out. Gonna come in, slam with the toads, but Tandor Draco has the toads of their own, and this is actually going much better for Tandor at the moment. It looks like getting some good snake tags on the tier 2, but yeah, Tandor, actually no, I guess Dash, according to the graphs, did pretty well, but maybe it was fairly even. I mean, Tandor did end up living with a couple snakes. I think Dash got out with like 1 skunk. And now we've got the tier 3 here. But again, I think with the bustin' play from Dash, I'm not sure if you wanted to go for that first attack. Like, it did kind of reset the armies. I mean, we can kind of call it an even trade for the most part. Really good pullback from Tandor there. Just gets the snake stacks on the board. So basically the board dies, but the important units for Tandor Draco stay alive, the snakes and the owls. And this is probably game right here. Like, it just didn't work for Dash. I don't think... I'm not well versed enough with the Bustin' Justin style, but I don't think he should have done that first attack, right? Because you're looking for this, like, critical army comp. So he kind of, like, traded up a lot that he was building up to. And then on the second attack, the double owl was just too much. That's my theory. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Like, especially because Tandor has so many tier 2. Like, if Dash hadn't attacked in the first time, got more toads, and then Toad exploded on all the tier 2, finish things off with the boar explosion. A pretty close match either way. We had some good fun engagements there, but Tandor at the end, really good control at the end, by the way, from Tandor. Knowing, okay, I've just got to, you know, kill that boar. I've got the snake tags on the boar. Let me keep all the rest of my units alive. It doesn't look like Tandor's changing things up much. Actually dropping the toads in lieu of the mines. Meanwhile, Dash kind of scratching their head. Figuring out what they want for this match. Let's get into it. Game number 2 of set number 4. Spawning in the bottom left. Representing Lizard Wizard Magic up 1 map. We've got Tandor Draco. Up in the top right. Gonna try to be a buster again. We've got Dash. Okay, scoreboard looks good. I'm reading Mocha's chat response on the delay. I think he agrees that Dash shouldn't have moved out earlier. Alright, this is a map, isn't it? Look at this thing. Great casting, Delthius. Thank you. That is the quality content we have here at ToothandTailTV. I mean, just so many mills in the middle here. I don't know. This is always really misleading to me. Like, these 4 mills are very, very misleading. This actually might be very Dash favored if Dash really keeps the aggression on. I don't know. I mean, Tandor has to stand his ground for these mills right here, right? So it might actually be the other way around, you know, Tandor. I'm really curious where Dash is going to take the natural. I think he's got to take it here. I think it's safer to take it on the sides. I mean, this would be too far away. This could be a good third. Like, this is the safe pick, right? But I'm worried if Dash doesn't, you know, plant his flag on the ground and really start fighting for this area early on, Tandor's just going to bully him out of it. Because Tandor has to take this as natural. Or this one. I always really like overanalyzing these mill positions when they get really close like this. Like, I'm so excited to see what these players choose for their natural base. I don't know why. It's very interesting to me. So far, just 1 base. And it might be because this cluster mess we've got here in the middle. You know. The players might be thinking the same thing. Like, which base do I take? There we go. Yeah, I think that's the right... I think, yeah, I agree with this from both players. But this is going to lead to a very short match here. Ooh, Dash even backing up. Actually, really good sell there. He only lost 6 food. And the mill being delayed a little bit's not going to matter. I think he does need to put his foot down, though, and start building that mill. Because if Tandor starts bullying him out of this mill right now, he's never going to get it. Tandor even gets that sneaky mine there. I don't think Dash sees it. Keep in mind, if you're an old viewer kind of coming in to hang out, watch some Tooth and Tail on a Sunday afternoon, we can reveal stealth units now. If you wait a second, you'll reveal adjacent tiles. Yeah, mine went off. Not super impactful. Ooh, good toad hit on that skunk, but the skunk doesn't die. And Tandor does have the pigeons. Yeah, this is rough. Maybe Dash didn't have the right army to contest it, but I mean, just think about if Dash had that mill there to tank and to mess with the AI of Tandor's units, to have some of those units kind of slow down, start attacking that mill, waste DPS. You know, Dash has got to get this mill up. Okay, Dash starting to bring it back a little bit. I mean, we're only 4 minutes in. He's got to start this mill, doesn't he? Am I crazy? He's just gonna go for the safe one. Okay, that's fine. I don't hate it. I think it makes sense. I think Dash just doesn't want, like, he needs to actually get some farms going, right? And And this is kind of the battlefield right now. I mean, it'd be nice if Tandor can get them, Dash can get the momentum to bring the battlefield to Tandor's base, but look at this army from Tandor. It's absolutely getting huge. A squirrel, pigeon, skunk. I love it. Really basic, really bread and butter. And this just might be too much damage. Is Tandor just gonna take it? If these tier 2s start falling, this might be GG. And that would put TRG in a very rough spot. They can still come back and win. Keep in mind, we will play all the games in the series, no matter what. Just for the fun of it and the finalizing of the points. I did mess up on that on my first cast of Clan Wars. And Dash is going to have to tap, so really smart, aggressive play from Tandor. Keeping the pressure on. Dash is going to fight till the last breath, going to try to get something done, but even if Dash clears this army, the damage has already been dealt. Dash is just too far behind on economy. And honestly, I think the problem this game was Dash just got a little bit too fancy with the tier 2 here. Like, probably didn't really need the snakes or falcons. I think players tend to get into snakes too often because they are just such really strong units in most cases, but the case that they are not really strong in is against Mass Tier 1, and that's what Tandor was bringing to the table. So the snakes not really getting a lot done, especially for the fact that the pigeons were there as well to help mitigate that poison. Tandor Draco. Lizard Wizard Magic on the 3-point here. TRG could come back, though, and win the next 2 series, and then win the tiebreaker. So we're going to go into Kipo versus Winner next. Ooh. This seems like a favorite match for Kipo. We'll see, though. Kipo's a very strong player here. Okay. Let me get the scoreboard all set up. Let's see. I'd love to see Winterload win this and keep the hype going. We're going to finish up all the games regardless, but it's more exciting when TRG can actually win it. Alright, Kipo's ready to roll. Grabbing that Bellified. And here we are, we're ready to get into it. Really good tip of the hat to all the players today in the Clan Wars. Really being on point to keep this thing moving at an accelerated pace. Love to see it. Okay. So this is a team captain match here. On top left, captain of the Lizard Wizard Magics. Also the organizer and brainstormer of the event, we have Kipo. In the bottom right hand side, captain of TRG, we've got Winterload. And I think Winterload was also an organizer for this event. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. But, you know, big shout out to all these guys. Like, this is really the type of thing that keeps the game alive. I'm serious. If you have an idea for a tournament, you know, there's no gatekeeping in this community. I try to stress that as much as I can. And even if it's just like a simple tournament. You know, we get a lot of these really creative, cool, long events, you know. Like the, oh, hang on, Kipo coming in with some early aggression, Winterload. Did scout it. I'm not sure exactly who initiated this. But hey, Kipo, you know what? He's got the lizards on brand. And Winterload has got the toads also on brand. What was I saying? Yeah, like, just like a single limb tournament. You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but this kind of stuff is really what keeps the scene alive and going for sure. So I love it, man. I'm super happy. I think what's really great to me, I mean, for a long time, I mean, there's always been other casters, but I've done a lot of it for a long time, and, you know, I've been kind of absent from the scene lately, but it's like it doesn't even matter. Games are still getting cast. There's so many other streamers. It's awesome. Winter coming in, actually getting some damage done here. Killing a Warren. A pig went down, too. I think I missed something earlier on, just yammering away. But yeah, guys like Tander Draco. Tosh has always been there, too. I can't... It's not fair to say that. We've had different streamers come and go. Like, Jed Erickson used to be a phenomenal caster. I think he pops in every now and then. Participates in events, you know, casts some things. Tosh is honestly the grinder, man. Like, big shout out to Tosh. Well, I'm just talking about people really responsible for the ongoing, you know, life of the scene. You know, that guy is grinding on Twitch like every day, just playing games. But that's super important. Like, uptime on Twitch is really important. You know, even if you're just laddering, like having a Tooth and Tail stream up is really good. New tournament in the works already, says Tander Draco. Awesome. I mean, Best Sakia back in the day was really active. Of course, Clash of Comrades. Mishi did some casting. Now I'm just like thinking about casters. Alright, Winter coming in again. Gonna back out for now. So far so good for Winter, right? Like, I haven't been paying super close attention, but I'm pretty sure Winter took some good engagements earlier on. He's got a nice looking comp here. Both players getting to 2 bases. Kipo actually trying to be sneaky with this second base here. I like that a lot. It's unfortunate for Winter there's no ramp, you know, to enter from the side. So this is actually really good for Kipo. Like, the geography of the space is in such a fashion that, like, Winter has no reason to go check this, you know? It's not something you can kind of just check while he's, like, passing by. Kipo's moving out here. Let's see from the Winter cam how this is going to work. He's got some toads. I don't know if they're going to get in and make the connections he needs. The skunks. A lot of really inefficient pathing here for Winter. You know, some of the army kind of engaged, and then the other side of the army engaged. And Kipo keeping a snake and a skunk alive. Ooh, the skunk actually does live, which is nice. Oh, little Tonka coming up. That's awesome. Excuse me. Man, you know, Winter was doing really good in this game, and it's still not doing bad, but this was so smart from Kipo. Like, to be fair, though, when was the last time Winter actually came and scouted? I guess not too long ago, because he did scout the Owl Warren. So he's getting that boar up. He's got the Bustin' Justin deck here. Winter really needs to scout this hidden base, though. Ooh. Yeah, like I said, man, he's got no reason to check it. Maybe he checks it out now, right? Because he's like, you gotta have a second base somewhere. There it is. Okay, so Winter finds it. That makes sense. Because Winter just, you know, doing some quick math. Like, there's no way you have that much stuff on one base. Alright, let's see what the plays are going to be. Kipo getting into that, the supreme late game. This is like the Tooth and Tail version of Mass Carriers in Brood War. Is Mass Owl with some Snake and Skunk to back it up, and a lot of Falcons too. I think that's basically like the best late game comp nowadays. Kipo looking for some blood. Is the boar ready? The boar is not here. Did Kipo scout the boar? I don't think he did. But he's coming in right before the boar has finished. The boar will be able to join the fray, though. No toads here for the Bustin' Justin. This is just a Bustin' boar here. Trying to get this boar on the tier 2 units. Oh my god, if this boar stays alive, but with 4 stacks of poison, I don't think so. And there it goes. Oh man, if that boar stayed alive, Winter would have been in such a good spot, but Winter does have the 180 bucks to rebuild that boar. How did that look on paper? Actually kind of better for Winter, which is nice. Kipo starting to favor the snakes here. You got pretty even economies, but the boar is going to be similar to last time, where Winter just needs to wait for that boar to get out, but Kipo is going to come in and get a ton of damage done. This is definitely going to be a dead Gristmill. Got enough stacks of poison on it. And Kipo's starting to press in with the Snake Falcon here. And the boar was just a minute too late, man. Well, not even a minute, like 5 seconds, really. A minute too late in Tooth and Tail is like a long time. And I think Kipo's army is just too far ahead of Winter's at this point. That's another dead boar. Is Winter gonna tap there? Does a little dig dance. Knows the writing's on the wall. Gonna stay in for as long as he can, though. And that will be game number 1. Going to Kipo. Kipo and the Lizard Wizard Magics. I don't know how to say that in plural. That sounds like a really sick prog rock band, doesn't it? Kipo and the Lizard Wizard Magic. It sounds like some King Crimson kind of stuff. Kipo on match point, man. He needs one more map, and he secures the victory for LWM. Alright, spawning on the bottom left. Looking to seal the deal for his team. Going with the tier 2 bruiser deck. We've got Kipo, captain of Lizard Wizard Magic. And on the right-hand side, trying to bring things back for Toad Road Gang. Get us to a match number 7 here. We've got Winter Load, the captain of TRG, with a tier 1 crazy deck. I'm not sure what Winter's doing here. I can't wait to see it. It seems like kind of a Hail Mary deck here. Debating on the 4-farm double, is going to go for it. I mean, is the idea to build up a lot of, like, Squirrel Toad, maybe 4 cams, and just YOLO push with some moles to reinforce? And, like, if that doesn't work, you got Badger Pigeon. Is that the idea? Alright, Kipo scouted the 4-farm double. Going to respond with a 6-farm single. These squirrels are so slow, but they actually might get a pig. No, one squirrel's coming. Ah, it's gonna be close. Damn, Winter gonna die. Oof. Losing the commander there feels bad, man. I think he would have got a squirrel if his commander lived. Or, I'm sorry, a farm. Trying to get some eco going, though. Selling off one of the warrens, building a farm, rebuilding that warren. Classic. Classic tactic. King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. Isn't that already a prog rock band? Yeah, that's what it's reminding me of. Yeah, thank you in the chat. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Dosh, man, with the good taste in music here. Here comes the TRG comeback. I believe in Winter Load in this wonky deck. Let's see it happen, man. Let's see a TRG comeback with the moles. With the double cam. Let's go. Oh, Kipo being sneaky. Sneaky boys. Look at them, just plotting, just looming menacingly. Alright, here they come. Ooh, Kipo losing his commander! Oh, don't lose that. Don't lose that, Warren! Come on, Winter! Oh, nice! Alright, that was really good for Winter. Whoa, that was weird from the music. Anybody else hear that? It was like a little double bass roll. Alright, alright. This gives Winter, you know, that was really good for Winter. He traded 2 toads for 6 lizards. That's something, but Kipo is getting ahead on economy. And these cutesy, kinda all-laney plays, you know, they have a very small window to actually work in this game. It's very fast to get behind on economy. And then it just doesn't really matter if you have this like really cool comp and strike if the opponent just has enough to deal with it. Kipo moving in again. Trying to get something done with these lizards, but good defense from Winter here. He's got the squad in position to block. Ooh! But with the classic Tiki Gray-esque snake flank here. Getting that mill. Gonna lose the snakes for it, though. So I think that would be hashtag not worth. But Winter needs to go, man. He needs to go right now. Look at this. Kipo's got all the tier 2 on the way. Like, this is the time. This is the time for the Toad Road gang. For vengeance. For honor. For glory. Come on, Winter. This is it. This is it right here. This is your chance. None of the tier 2 are out yet. Let's go. Let's go, Toad Road. Some good connections there. A lot of... Oh, no. The commander goes down. Can I get an F in chat, boys? Lots of damage. Okay, okay. As much as I love Kipo and respect LWM, I am firmly rooting for Winterload here. Because I want to see some more hype matches. Badger on the way, Winterload. The tier 1 didn't work. He's gonna try to get to Badger. Kipo's got this small but sturdy army of tier 2. Now, Toads are actually pretty good against this. All these clumped up tier 2 units, they don't get the connections they needed. Oh, man. And this is the last stand for Winterload here. And I think that's gonna be game. We're gonna have Lizard Wizard Magic as your champions of the Clan Wars season. First season of Clan Wars, I guess. I wonder if there will be a second one in the future. GG Kipo! Winning it for his team. Nicely done. Now, we aren't gonna just call it there. We will play the rest of the matches for fun. But congratulations to Lizard Wizard Magic for being the winners of Clan Wars. However, well, I guess we've only got one more match. It's going to be Tiki Gray versus Satoros. See if TRG can at least lose with a 4-2 split. Did I spell his name right? Alright, I am going to take a brief break, 1 minute break, and we'll be back for one last match of the day, Tiki Gray versus Satoros. It's going to be a fun one. Stay tuned, be back in a sec. Alright, I am back, ready to roll. We got one more. We got Tiki Gray versus Satoros coming up next. Just waiting a second for Tiki Gray to get on in here. There it is. All right, here we go. Last match of the day. I think my voice can shout a little bit longer before giving out here. And then I am going to enjoy... You know, I might recommend to my wife that we play some Divinity Original Sin 2 after the stream. I think that sounds like fun. Oh, Tiki, change it up. Commanders. Gonna go with Quartermaster. Alright, spawning in the bottom on TRG, we've got Satoros. An opponent up top on Lizard Wizard Magic, we got Tiki Gray. And finally, some deck choices that are canon with my Tooth and Tail competitive lore, okay? Lizard Wizard Magic player running Lizards, Totoro Gang player running the Toads. So I'm happy about that. Let me see what is coming up. I might get Kipo on for an interview, and he can tell us, because Kipo has had a finer eye on the scene lately than I have. It's not that I don't love you guys. I still love you all, but I've just been so busy, man. I can't. You know what I mean? It happens. I'm going to get back into it. I want to move streaming off Friday, I think. I think that's what I need to do. You need to go back to, like, a Tuesday or just some random weeknight like that. Okay, waiting on this game to get started here. Ooh, Satoros being sneaky. Oh, I guess not that sneaky. You just sell it off to tier 1, you get to tier 2 up a little faster. Actually pretty standard. It's cool to see, it's interesting to see Tiki still running pure lizard. Ooh, he's actually going to punish this this tech switch, but Satoru's gonna get in time to sell the farm. He needs to sell that farm. He's not gonna get units up in time to defend it. He does delay. He was hoping the unit would get out, but Tiki very sharp with his timings. And that's like a nice 28 food there. But yeah, I mean, Tiki for a while now has just kind of ditched squirrels and been going pure lizard. Actually, I really like his comp. Basically just trading out the squirrel for the turret. Like, I think Tiki's got that hyper late game, right? Like, if you're a new player looking for a strong deck, I would take Tiki's deck, but I would just remove the turret and put in Squirrel. Or Squirrel Toad rather than Squirrel Lizard. And turrets are very strong units. Oh, hang on, we got an engagement coming in here, but the double cam should help out quite a bit, but no, still just an overwhelming number of lizards here. However, Tiki does lose some skunks. Were there skunks on the front line? I wasn't paying close enough attention. Yeah, there must have been, because that was actually closer trade than it imagined it to be. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend the turrets to new players. It's a little bit of a trap. Defenses are, because new players just kind of tend to build defenses at the wrong moments, and Tooth and Tail is very, very tempo based, so putting yourself behind on warrens or on farms because you built a couple turrets that aren't doing anything can lose you the match. But when you're a really strong player like Tiki, you know, Tiki Gray, arguably at least in the top 5 of best Tooth and Tail players, certainly top 10. He knows when to use them. Like, look at this. He throws down the turret, and immediately Satoris was on the move out. So now when Tiki feels safe, you know, one turret's not the biggest investment, especially when we're on 1.5 base, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him sell it. Yeah, and there you go. Like, Tiki just kind of knew, alright, this is a time where Satoris might try a push. Let me build a turret. Turrets are very powerful. And now, okay, I don't need that turret anymore. I'm going to sell it. Hey, Ghost of the chat. It's good to see you, man. I am on a 90-second delay, so my chat interactions are a little bit weird, but I always like to go on delays when casting live tournament matches, so there can be no question of somebody having the stream open and seeing what the opponent chose in their deck or anything like that. Good attack here from Tiki, getting a lot of damage done and able to retreat with most of the critical tier 2 alive. Okay. Alright, Tiki coming in with a big push. Looking for game-ending damage, most likely. Let's see if he can get it done. The 10 stacks of poison on the mill. Gonna be a dead mill. Oh, and the forward turrets here from Tiki, just trying to seal the deal, was able to sneak out that mill, and this is another great thing about having those turrets in your deck. Really cool style. Like, I might actually try to play this deck from Tiki, because I really do enjoy turrets. They're just kind of difficult to use nowadays. Alright. So 1-0 for Tiki here. Hopping into game number 2. Alright, down on match point, we've got Tiki Gray. And up top, looking to To add another point to the board for TRG before we call it a day, it is the Tauros. Same deck here from Tiki. Actually, I really like Tiki's deck. I gotta remember, I like Tiki's deck, and I like Meek's Bustin' Justin deck. I might steal those when I play on the ladder again. I actually want to maybe look at how Meek did the Wolf Fox as well, because I really enjoy Wolf Fox. I don't think it's really powerful, but it's really fun to play. All right. We are wrapping it up here today, ladies and gents. Lizard Wizard Magic with the win. This is kind of just an exhibition match to dot the T's and cross the I's, so to speak. You know, tally up all the final scores. The format for Clan Wars is that the clan matches, there is a point aspect to it, so you got to play all the matches, regardless of the final score. So we are wrapping that up here with our 6th set. We had the TNT Championship Premier League Finals between Meek and Melvin Fro earlier today. And moving forward, we got 2021 duels going on. A couple of those episodes are already out on Witty Punch 7 and on Tandor Draco's Twitch channels. Be sure to check those out if you haven't already. And I think me and like Tiki might do some coverage of it next week. Tiki moving out with some lizards here. Cabin actually might be a thorn in the side from this pathing. Gotta get the snakes up and running from both sides here. Just lizards from Tiki, meanwhile Squirrel Toad from Satoros. I'm curious how Tiki deals with toads with this comp. He probably just lets the toads hit the skunks, I guess? Or, I mean, Tiki does have good enough micro. You actually can, like, micro your lizard pack to really take, like, a small explosion, like that right there. Where the toads explode, but it doesn't hit the center of the pack of lizards. It hits, like, one of the outskirt lizards. But, you know, that attack, Satora's cleaned it up, but he took a lot of damage. You know, he lost the 2 pigs. He might have lost Warren there as well. Squirrel Toad Cam, Snake Falcon Boar. Yeah, that's a fun deck. Alright, so we're on 2 bases here. Tiki Gray did get some early damage in. Satoros kind of rebuilding the farms on the Expo here. Nothing crazy just yet. Wonder if Satoros should have counterattacked after Tiki traded his whole army for a couple pigs. I don't remember if he really had enough there. Balloon up here from Satoros, so maybe that's a sign he wants the game to go on a little bit longer, but again, this is what's kind of rough with the... I almost would have liked this balloon a bit better more out here, because this balloon really doesn't defend if Tiki attacks in this way. However, the second base is the most prized target. If you're Tiki, that's the one you want to hit down. But Satoros trying to get into the owl, but I think Tiki might just have the better late-game army comp, you know? And the map is a little bit better for Tiki as well. Well, I guess both players have 4 bases, but this is a little bit easier to handle from Tiki here. You know, Satoros has a nice 3, sure, but, you know, this 9 o'clock over on the side would have to be his 4th base, and not the end of the world. I mean, with the lizards from Tiki, actually, that is pretty bad, now that I'm thinking about it more. There's even another path in right here, like, obscured by the trees. Double owl. Out of Tiki, knowing that he's safe after seeing the balloon. Gonna come in, try to scout the owls from the opponent. Sees the owls, so Tiki knows exactly what's going on. But yeah, this fourth base from Satoros is really unfortunate. Particularly because Tiki has lizards. I mean, the rush from here to there is very short. Especially with lizards. Like, look right here. Tiki is just going to check. And he's just gonna take it. But I'm hoping to see a Satoros win. Rooting for the underdog here. Yeah, you know what? I agree with Winterload in chat, man. I want to see a Toad Road gang, mass toads blow up the mills. Oh, Satoros is going for it. The owls from Tiki aren't ready yet. Satoros has a better army right here, right now. I think Tiki is setting himself up better for like the next couple minutes, but we're not at the next couple minutes. We're at 6:10. In this match where Satoros has 24 squirrels now, he should keep going. No! Ah, it's a shame. It is rough. And it's stressful, especially when you're playing against somebody like Tiki. Where, I mean, don't get me wrong, Satoros is great, but Tiki's probably the better player, and that can mess with your mindset too in competitive games where when you feel like you're up against someone who's better than you. It's not that you can't win, but you're a little bit nervous or a little bit more timid. Like, I think if Satoros would have taken that momentum and pushed through, he might have just won the game. And I'm not I hope that didn't come out like I'm dogging Satoros. I mean, Tiki's like one of the best players, you know? It's very rare Tiki is going to be against somebody who doesn't feel like Tiki's better than them. And yeah, oh, that's rough, man. Satoros had that window, but it's shut, and now Tiki has the owl count. He's got the Falcons. The Falcons are really the unit that you want to scale into the hyper late game with. That owl, snake, falcon is really the comp here. Alright, just more harassment here from Tiki. Tiki's kind of got the opponent in the stranglehold now. But with this kind of style, it's a Python, you know, slow death. As Satoros is trying to fight back. He does manage to get up a second owl. But Tiki has the better economy. Satoros is trying to catch up, and trying to take a fourth base from here from Satoros is going to be particularly difficult. Especially, I love this, that Tiki just invested the 60 food to just say, alright, I know when you try to get it. Well, now he's actually putting farms on it. And I agree with that too, because that's a more favorable fourth base for Tiki than this one is anyways. Satoru's gonna try it here, he's moving in. But I really think the problem is just these Falcons, right? Like, the skunks are fine, and Tiki has some skunks too, but I really think this late game, the hyper top tier late game comp is that Snake Falcon Owl. And as this game continues to go on, as the Falcon count gets higher and higher, and the reason the Falcons are so good in this late game is because they can burst down the enemy tier 2 and tier 3 very quickly. Satoros is holding on, though. Not going to be happy to scout this fourth from Tiki. Doesn't even have to go up the ramp, just sees the pigs. It would have been nice to get a count on the pigs, but Satoros realized every second matters as Tiki is knocking on his front door. He needs to be in here to micro. And really this becomes checkmate once Tiki is able to get just a little bit farther on the push than he just did. Owl number 5 on the way, getting up to 8 Falcons here. You see, like, one pig died there. Like, when Tiki destroys this base, it's GG. But unfortunately for Satoros not having access to a fourth, it's an uphill battle. Like, Tiki's just very far ahead on every front. Blech. Alright, another big engagement coming in. Does Tiki have the numbers this time to get to that farming base and to seal the deal on the match? It's getting there. Satoru's starting to lose it all and taps out. And that is it. Lizard Wizard Magic with a 5-1 victory. Closing out the events with a nice win. Congrats to really all the players from both sides. Like, really nicely done. And I'm going to see if I can get Kipo in here for a quick chat. Talk about a few things before we call it a day.
Hello, Delthius.
Kipo, how's it going, man?
Dude, it's going well. It's going well. Such an awesome set we had between LWM and TRG. Very fun.
Yeah, congrats on the big win, man. It feels good. So that is it for this season of Clan Wars. You mastermind this event, but who were the other organizers involved?
Yeah, so the big organizers, I want to give a huge shout out to Winter, Horace, Gent, and Trumpet. At the very beginning, it was sort of a brain trust of us five that figured out how the tournament was going to work, mapped out the schedule, figured out the teams, the layout, etc. So, a lot of work went into it. So huge shout outs, like I said, Winterload, Trumpet, Horse Holy, and Gent for putting it all together. And also huge shout outs to all of the team leaders, the captains. We had FXB led by Trumpet. We had Badger Missionaries led by Fleur Delays. TRG, of course, Winterload himself, Fox Baby, Sudden Strength, and you, Delthius, for P-Boop. The clan leaders just do so much. It actually is a lot of work to organize this because there are so many players involved. So I think it was a fun event. I think it was a success. It was totally a lot of fun. And we had some really cool teams. So I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, and it went on for about 2.5 months, and I think part of that was because we didn't anticipate like the holiday. So really, realistically, I mean, it was kind of about 2 months, for the timeline, which I think is a pretty good amount of time for an event, and I think it's important as organizers to kind of think about like two different style events, like that quick, like knock it out in a weekend or a week kind of thing, and also the longer format tournaments. I think different players like different things of either style. There's pros and cons of both, but it really is incentivizing and great for the health of the game when you're in something like a long-term clan wars and you're like, oh, I need to practice so I don't let my clan down and I do well on Sunday, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really think the teams sort of bonded together. I mean, I know for us, for LWM, we had like training sessions where we would get on Saturday at like 9 o'clock, and like for 2 hours, we would just train Lupus, Tandor, Cavernus, and we would, of course, play each other and just get in as much experience as we can and talk about the opponents and the matchups and the various styles. And I know TRG did something similar where they were practicing together and other teams as well. So we really wanted to foster these like smaller communities and this sort of team atmosphere and environment. And I think it was fitting to have LWM and TRG in the finals. They're such tight-knit teams. So it was a lot of fun. It was intended to be like super casual and laid back. And I think it hit exactly what it was going for.
What do you think the event did well, and what do you think can be improved on for next time, if there will be a next time?
Sure. So I think one of the challenges is scheduling, like organizing so many different players at once and getting everyone together to have their matches played at the right time, especially week after week. So I think scheduling can be improved upon. It is definitely a challenge. And I think one of the tricky things also is like trying to balance like the player skill levels and pairing them up against one another. Um, but we had a lot of upsets throughout the season, and we had a lot of upsets even today. So maybe not as big as an issue as I thought.
Right.
In terms of doing well, I think just getting that team sort of setting and that team environment, is sort of inspired by Gent's previous tournament, which was a team league tournament with all the various teams being representative of the tier 3 units in the game.
Yeah.
So I think people really enjoyed just being on a team and like practicing with their teammates. So we'll see what the future holds. I know right now Gents 21 Duels is big. That's popping off. That's going to be the next, or is the next big tournament that's happening. So that's a lot of fun. And then I think soon after that, there's actually going to be a 2v2 tournament hosted by Tandor Draco, Lupus, and Cavernus.
Oh man, I know a lot of people would be excited for that. Maybe we'll get out some old guys like Chip or Arbuz. Sometimes they come out of the woodwork when they hear us talking about a 2v2 tournament, so you never know.
Yeah, it's time. I mean, the community I feel has been asking for a 2v2 tournament for a while, so it's going to be similar to Clan Wars. My understanding of the structure, Tandor will talk about it more in chat as time goes on, perhaps after Gents tournament is over. But it's going to be sort of like a league where you play for a couple weeks against various opponents, and then there's bracket and finals at the end. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then of course, we could have another Clan Wars, and we're definitely going to have another TNT Championship. So much to look forward to.
That's awesome, man. I am super proud and thankful of you, Kipo. Like, you've done such a good job of stepping up into big organizer roles, and it just makes me really happy to see guys like you are inspired and motivated enough to keep the scene going. 4 years later is awesome. So thank you particularly a lot, and also your team. I know some of the other guys behind the scenes, like Marmu typically does a lot of like TO stuff, but he doesn't get a lot of spotlight. Guys like Horace that you mentioned earlier. So I mean, there is a lot of like really passionate folks on the back end. We've had a ton of new streamers coming in lately. Tandor Draco, you're streaming as well. I think Marmu streams from time to time, Kerpa. So I love to see it, man. I'm super thankful for you guys for stepping up and keeping it going. And are you enjoying it? Like, it seems like you're organizing a lot of stuff lately and have a lot of plans. I mean, it's pretty fun. It's like its whole other game. I think I was joking around with you one time in Discord messages where I was like, ToothandTail's like my esports caster simulator nowadays, like, are you having fun organizing all this stuff, or?
It's rewarding. Players reaching out saying, we love the event, people talking about it. It is definitely rewarding. And, one of the best things about Tooth and Tail, the game is fantastic, but the community is incredible. So to be able to give back and serve the community is definitely rewarding and is a lot of fun. And I do like casting and organizing these things as well. So yeah, it's been an absolute blast. And like you said, huge shout out to Tandor Draco. He's putting in a lot of work on his stream. Awesome caster, awesome guy. A lot of fun things coming out, in the future.
Sweet, yeah, he's talking about on Tuesday night. He's gonna do some announcements on the 2v2 tournament, so check out Tandor Draco's stream on then. But that is it, man. It's been a long day of casting. It's been fun. Again, I really appreciate you and all the work you and your team are doing for the scene. And we got some 2021. Well, I got you the beginners finals. Has that been done for the TNT Championship? Did I miss that, or is that coming up?
Beginners is coming up, but in 1 hour from now, if anyone here is still interested in more TNT content, we do have the third place match in the Premier Division between the Gentlemen and Tiki Gray, hosted by Big Pimp and Tosh.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
So come back in an hour for more TNT action. This is pretty much like the best TNT weekend you could ask for.
Yeah.
Just so much content, so much fun. But yeah, it's been a blast, and Thanks for all the work today, Delthius. I know
Yeah.
you've been casting for like 5 hours straight.
It's cool, man. Anytime. All right, I think we'll wrap it up. Thanks again, Kipo. And tune in an hour on Witty Pun 7's channel to watch Gentleman vs. Tiki Gray. That's going to be a badass series. And we'll see you all very shortly in the future. Any final thoughts?
No, just thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed Clan Wars, and there'll be more to come.
All right, take care, man.
Take care.
All right, everybody, that is it for me today. You're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. 1 hour from now, twitch.tv/WoodyPun7. This is where you need to be. I'll type it in chat. Bam. That's where the Gentleman vs. Tiki is going to be. And that is it. I might consider doing the feast on another night of the week. I think that might make it more realistic for me to actually get some shows out. So I'll keep you all posted in the Discord what I'm doing with that. So take care, everybody. That is it for me today. Have a great rest of your weekend, and catch you later.